Good morning. We're going to do the 7 rites today. We are going to start in plank pose. So come onto your forearms. These 7 rites, we're going to go for 1 minute. It's something that you can build yourself up to. 21 repetitions with each exercise. You can start out maybe with a 30-second plank if you're not used to doing planks, or you can go to a 1-minute plank. Ideally, you want to work up to a 3-minute plank. Again, you build it as you go. Engage your core, pull your belly and your ribs in, draw your shoulders down your back, and find your plank. We're already 20 seconds left. Crown of the head moves forward. Gaze is right at your hands. Squeeze your arms. Engage your quads. Bring your shoulders more over your forearms to engage more core. Drop to your knees if you need to modify. 1 more breath. Set your knees down to the mat. Sit back. Take a quick little child's pose. Find a nice stretch into your hips, into your back. Knees wide, knees together. Your choice. Second rite, we're going to come up and come into a standing position. This one is the one that you need to be a little bit careful if you're not familiar or circling. Not very many people circle themselves around and around and around. Start with 3 and stop there and build on. 21 is the goal of this one. So circle 21 times. I like to circle 10 to the right. Shoulders deep into your back so you can really feel the contraction of your thoracic spine. And then after you get your 10 in, you're going to quickly stop and then go the other way. Now this is going to actually help you can finish the 21. Now you're circling the other way. This is amazing for your crown chakra, as all of these rites target the vortex system, the center of your energy body, and that is why they're so beneficial, and literally they are the secret to the fountain of youth. Bring your hands in front of your face. Look at your hands. This is the best way for you to stop the dizziness. Good. And then coming all the way down to the mat for your third rite. It's for your core. You're going to bring your legs straight up, your head and neck, shoulders off the mat. On your inhale, lower your legs down. On your exhale, bring your legs back up. 21 times. Again, if you're just beginning this, you're going to do as many as you can and stop. And you'll build it. Maybe have a little notepad to where you can know how many you did. So the next day, you'll add 1 more, or maybe the next week, depending on your fitness ability. These are all yoga expressions, right? You do anything and apply your breath with movement, and you can call it yoga. It's all about the awareness. Also, let's start to focus on the breath. The inhale lowers, the exhale takes you up. You have 6 more. A little pranayama ujjayi is good if you want to make the soft sound in the back of your throat. It helps create some internal heat. Last 3. Good. Wrap your hands around your hamstrings, rock and roll yourself up, cross your ankles. Simple Sukhasana, take a couple breaths. And coming into the 4th. So there, originally it's 5, and there's 2 added on from a workshop I was in a few years ago. Take your hands behind your back. Press your feet into the mat, shoulders into your back, lift your hips, and exhale, come back down. That is the initial. If you want more, because there's ways to add more, and especially when you start to get stronger, the best way to add more is to slide your hips in between your hands and maybe even keep your butt off the ground. So squeeze your finger pads and knuckles into the floor so you feel less flexion in the wrist. And if you do need to, you can always come onto your fist, especially if you're new to any kind of yoga practice or breath work, because the hands or the wrists take a beating. You should feel this in your back body, your tris. You should feel it in your core. And again, I'm doing 21 just so that for the people that can do 21. But again, stop when you need to, rest. You can get back in. This is amazing for your back body. A great opening of your front body. Last 5. Stay with your breath to let it lead the way. Good, last 2. And last 1. Nice. Cross your ankles. Take a little seated meditative spot. Couple breaths. Recenter. All right, the next one is another added on one. We straddle the legs. Marianne's favorite. As you lift the flesh off the sit bones, move your inner thighs down. You're just going to do a rotation where you touch your opposite hand to your opposite foot. And this one is added on. I love it because it's super good for rotation, really good for your obliques, good for people that have any kind of rotation sport that they play, tennis, golf. So golfers, promise you that this will help you, even though it may look like nothing. Yeah, that's good. So yeah, Marianne's showing a modified variation, which is great. And that's the thing, you have to figure it out, the modifications. This one, you might just do 3 and then be done. That's fine. But I like to spread all 10 toes and find the energy in my feet to bring the energy all the way up into my legs. And you can already feel the waist, the obliques. Good, last 5. So what I do is I count 2 taps as 1 rep. And if you're like, hey, we're doing way more than 21 now. 2 feet count as 1 rep. Good, last rotation. Amazing. And cross your ankles, take a couple breaths. Next, we're gonna stack our shoulders over our hips. We're gonna curl your toes. If you want, you can take your toenails onto the mat. Take your hands behind your back, shoulders into your spine. On your inhale, extend your heart up, shoulders squeeze into your back. Exhale, chin to your chest. Inhale. You can go as deep as you want in your camel pose, or you can stay more modified like I'm doing. All you really want to get out of this is a big pec opener, a big shoulder squeeze into the back body, and shine your heart up. The breath is pressing your hips back, shoulders back, lift up. That's your inhale. Exhale, chin to your chest. If it bothers your neck because you're not used to doing the head nod, no problem. You just keep your head consistent, and that's really good because that does not change the squeeze of your shoulders or the opening up of your heart. Good. You can also put a block between your thighs, which is beneficial for the energy of your inner thighs to squeeze. It's called internal rotation. Super good for opening up your hips. Last 5. Some of you that are a little bit more bendy in your backs, you can take your hands all the way down to your feet each time. Maybe support your back on your way up. So camel, the back is super important to address every single day of our lives, since we don't do anything in our lives that in a life daily situation that we promote our backs. Good. And everybody sit back onto your feet and take a couple recovery breaths. Good job. We only have 1 more. So the 7th rite is down dog to upward dog. So this pose can be extremely amplified if you are into power. Otherwise, down dog, upward dog. So it's a counter of each other as you stretch and lengthen your spine, and then here you extend and contract. So upward dog is, again, shoulders into your back, heart up. Squeeze your finger pads and knuckles into the mat. You want a little bit more power, you can always do a little chaturanga, and then come right into your upward dog. So again, you can make it stronger if you want. So you can already feel the internal heat that you build with your breath and the muscle energy, and also amazing how you feel when you finish. And it might take 15 minutes max. So know that this you can include in an everyday routine. And this comes from a book called The Secret to the Fountain of Youth by Peter Kelder. In his book, he tells the whole story when he goes to Tibet and visits Tibetan monks that put him through these rites. A year later, when he comes back home, Colonel Peter, whatever his name was in the book, his friends didn't recognize him. Every one of his gray hairs had turned back to his normal color, and he looked absolutely amazing as far as the secret to the fountain of youth. My friends, you did it. Make it a daily routine. I am me to make sure that I know you are feeling amazing. And thank you very much. Tony, Marianne, thank you. And
peace out.
Till next time. Bye-bye.